Page 50, German Dance. This is a very famous melody by Schubert. In this lesson, they're introducing you to endings. I've spoken about roadmap before, or when did we go where? Because we've had DC all fine, and you've had repeat signs. You know, anything that prevents you from going from top straight through, that's where we get into roadmaps. Endings is another one. Look at the end of the second line here in this piece. The last two measures. You have a first ending and a second ending, because there's a 1 up above the measure and then there's a 2. And the numbers represent and you can have a third ending and a fourth ending, and they combine endings. I could have endings 1 and 2 together and then ending 3 somewhere else. Gets interesting. Endings can be any length. Here they're just one measure, but they could be any length. So I'm going to talk more about it when I get to the roadmap part of the lesson, when we talk about that. Let's just briefly go over this, because other than that, they're not introducing anything new, and I don't see anything terribly tricky here. It's, 4 lines long? Well, with the endings and all, it's going to be longer than that, but it's 4 lines of music to learn. Treble and bass clef, 1 flat in the key signature. We're in the key of F major, so go ahead and be doing the scale for F major and the scale for D minor, because it also has 1 flat in it. Just go ahead and do both scales. Just 1 octave up and down. 3/4 time signature, and we're coming in on a pickup beat. So there has to be another measure somewhere with 2 counts in it, and this is in sections. The first 2 lines is a section, and the last 2 lines is a section, and you'll see that each section sort of has its own pickup beat. It works out. Take my word for it. We're coming in on beat 3. Right hand first. Let's make sure we got the notes and the rhythm and all. It's here. Position. Don't forget the B flat. It's 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2. Get the idea? Now let's go down to the last line. Now at the end of the third line, you're here, and you have 2 G's going on. We're going to change hand position on the G's. So here. So the last line is 4th. And 4. And thumb comes down, not the hand, just the thumb. Now, you have to consider the repeats when you start doing this stuff. So at the end of the second line, or the first ending there, I'm going to repeat back to the reverse repeat sign, okay? I'm fine, the hand's right where it needs to be. But at the bottom, on that first ending, I'm here. And then they want me to go to here, and the first ending here. So I'm in position to repeat back. I'd rather, now you can, it's a new phrase, you can do that. But I'd rather not. I don't want to do that anymore than I have to. As I said, when I first learn a piece of music, I connect everything. And so I'm going to connect this. I can't connect that. It's the same finger. So I'm going to adjust the fingering a little bit. So the last couple measures there, or the last line starting with the second measure here. Here, I'm going to scrunch up and do a 2-1 here. I changed hand positions right there. Now I'm in position to go on to repeat. Okay. However, the second time I play it, I don't have to repeat. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but I don't have to do that. I can stay right where I'm at because it fits. So we adjust the fingering as we need to. My suggestion is then in the last line, third measure, the first time you play it, you're going to go 5, 2, 1. So you're in position for third finger on the A. The second time you play it, you can just stay there. Left hand. Well, the left hand has these broken chords. I'll talk more about broken chords later. It's the whole notes, all of it is that. And you just hear it. It's a B flat and a C, because there's a B flat in the key signature. Third line, it's here. It's an E flat. You don't want to be up in here, you do that. Otherwise, you that. You'll reach down. going from the third line to the fourth line. Here, that's a stretch. So, if you want to scrunch up, you set 2, 1. This way you can reach it more easily. That'll help you, because I want to connect this left hand. So again, the last 2 measures of the third line were here. Just 2, 1, scrunch up, 2, 1. Now I can do that. If you want, I'm going to. Then I put the hands together and see how they're working. It's here, these. The trickiest part about this would be the dotted rhythms. And you can see how the notes line up between the staves. Look at the second line, first measure here. See the 8th note's in between the quarter notes. Just keep the quarter notes steady. The third line, it's here. Again, you're playing quarter notes in the left hand. Keep them steady. Anyway, you go through and put the hands together, and then get rid of all the hesitations. So once you can do all that, then we'll think about the articulation. And this is really connected. The slurs, remember you don't always lift up before and after a slur, but if you can hear the phrases, you can do that. Well, for me, when they don't put in the phrases for me, and they didn't, I have to speed the melody up so I can hear it. This is the way I do it. Because it's easier for me to hear the musical thoughts if they go a little faster. So it's... I could almost take all that in one thought. Or I could split it up between the 2 lines. And each line is a thought. In my opinion, I think the slur in the last measure, the first line, is incorrect. To me, the phrase starts with the pickup beat, the last note of the first line. Because each phrase seemed to be starting with a pickup beat, so I would probably continue it. So I would lift up in the last measure, lift up. That would be the new phrase. If I were your teacher, and I'd take a pencil and scribble out that slur in the last measure of the first line, so you can do a phrase there. And the last 2 lines, well, the phrase starts with the pickup beat, the end of the second line. Now, I don't really hear any sentences in that at all. If that's the case, I just connect it all. You do have accents there occasionally in the third line. Just give that one a little extra. I don't know why the accent is there, but it's there. Okay. And the left hand just does chok choks. Where you connect the first 2 notes. You can't connect the others. They're repeated. They're not real short. No, they're just disconnected. Well, there's a kicker. Because now you are doing different things in the hands. I want to connect the right hand. But that takes a little bit of time and practice to get that worked out. And the third line, you can just connect these. I'm going to connect the left hand all the way through on the last 2 lines. Then once I have that, I think about the dynamics. P at the beginning is piano for soft, and that's the melody, which is the right hand. The left hand has to be very soft. At the end of the second line, the F is forte, loud, that's the right hand. The left hand's in the background. And that accented note would be a very loud note because of the accent. The last line's moderately soft again, MP. I tend to want to fade out toward the end too. Now, speed-wise, it's just a nice in the middle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There. And now let's talk about the roadmap. When do we go where? That's where the endings and repeat signs come in. So at the end of the second line, we have first and second endings. So the first time we play it, we do the first ending. It has a repeat sign there, which sends us back to the reverse repeat sign on the first line. So we do all that again. Now the second time we play it, we skip the first ending. We've done it once. That's it. That's all it gets. We skip that measure and go to the second ending and continue to the third line. Well, the last two lines are surrounded by repeat signs because you get down to the bottom on the first ending, that's a repeat sign. That sends you back to the third line, reverse repeat sign, so you can do that again. Then the second time you play it, you skip the first ending at the bottom. You've done it, you're done. Do the second ending and you finish it. So the endings, you only do it for the number it's on. So the first ending is done the first time, the second ending is done the second time, the third ending would be done the third time, etc. You just follow the numbers. Keep in mind there's not always a repeat sign at the end of the first ending. There may not be. If there isn't, you'd go on. You skip any other endings, go past them, and keep going. And you'll see that sometimes. Please don't copy me. It's just one way of doing it. Remember the natural accents? 1, 2, 3, 1. Feel these. Feel these as you're going through this. Well, when you can play it at least slowly with no hesitations, let's play it together and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the louds and softs, just the notes and the rhythms. We will do all the repeats and everything though. So I'll give us 2 counts because we come in on beat 3. Now let's try it slowly together. Ready? Go. Repeat.